Good or evil? Human or vampire? Crossbow or redeemer? These are just a few of the choices you'll make in a combination Wild Western, horror, and steampunk first-person shooter known as Darkwatch, developed by the appropriately named High Moon Studios, and published by video game giant Capcom.
Trying to open the vault!
For those who don't know, High Moon is also the name of a werewolf western webcomic that was awarded a contract by DC Comics in 2007, so I'd recommend you check it out if you feel this game is up your alley. There's nothing like satisfying the gamer's thirst for a good blast-em-up full of skeletal minions and hell beasts from the darkest, deepest pits of hell, and applying it to a story full of references to titles such as Halo and Medal of Honor that have made them so successful. Yes, this is a first-person shooter for the eccentric gamer's sake, and I'd like to commend Dennis in sunny Florida for his refined taste. As an example, let's take the crossbow weapon and the skeletal foes you'll face all throughout the game. If you've played enough Halo in your lifetime, you'll notice the crossbow's purpose. It's a weapon that shoots arrows that first stick into your enemy and then explode after a few moments. Also, much like titles such as Medal of Honor, is Darkwatch's responsive and accurate aiming capability, not to mention the more than capable AI of your foes, which, frankly, is a relief. It makes for a no-nonsense FPS experience that delivers throughout the entire campaign. The storyline follows an outlaw-turned-vampire named Jericho Cross, who accidentally awakens Lazarus Malkoth, a vampire from ancient Roman times whose name kinda sounds like a Magic the Gathering planeswalker or something.
Sweet mercy, what have you done?
Lazarus has bitten Jericho and thus he becomes a vampire, which is not all that bad considering all the awesome powers he acquires from it, just like any other vamp game. But with unholy power comes much decision making. Jericho can either use them for good or evil in a system much like Knights of the Old Republic or Mass Effect, where your decisions affect the new powers you acquire as you either free souls of Lazarus's victims or use them for your own personal gain. Alright, I've already spent so much time talking about the vampire traits of this game, so let's look over the gunslinging cowboy attributes that Darkwatch uses so well. Since the setting is in the rootin' tootin' Wild West, you'll be blasting bloodthirsty monsters in underground mines, churches, moving trains, and even on horseback. The soundtrack will strike a chord with those that have watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and heard its musical score, composed by Ennio Morricone. It's an aspect of the game that would definitely stir the pot with those that feel Darkwatch is either a ripoff and has stolen most of its ideas, or is simply an homage geared towards first-person shooter fans. Most of all, Darkwatch is probably most famous for a cutscene too hot for this channel that involves Jericho and a female Darkwatch agent that steals his powers for her own good. In conclusion, I feel that this FPS in homage to vampires, cowboys, and a bunch of other elements that appeal to the nerdy gamer is a lot of fun to play. Although the multiplayer has been more touted than the Player 1 experience, which definitely has some room for improvement as far as graphics and story goes, Darkwatch is an inspiring game and may just leave you thirsty for its sequel, set to come out soon.